A 10-year-old kid from Central Ohio named Nathan Entingh was suspended for 3 days after he used his fingers like a gun playing around with his friends. He said, quote, "I was just playing around. People play around like this a lot at my school." The school spokesperson said to the media, quote, "The kids were told if you don't stop doing this type of stuff, there would be consequences. It's just been escalating." Who says that? It's been escalating. Kids playing, cops and robbers with their fingers has been escalating. Oh, the horror. You should really punish them for that. So apparently they say their hands were tied because of zero-tolerance policies, and they had to punish the kid. But to me, this is just beyond silly, man. I mean, all little boys play gunfight with each other. That's not an indicator that they're about to kill people or that they're somehow violent. It's just like watching Rambo doesn't mean somebody's going to light up a preschool after that. Just like watching The Terminator doesn't mean you're all of a sudden going to go buy a Gatling gun or a sawed-off shotgun. It's nonsense, like playing video games. If you play Rainbow Six or Halo, that doesn't mean that you're actually violent. Okay, studies actually show that kids who play violent video games are less violent than other kids, believe it or not. How crazy is that? So here we have a situation where they're just making connections that aren't there. They think there's a problem when there's simply not a problem. It's a kid being a kid. So just to give you guys the tally for what kids have been suspended for, there was a kid who was suspended for shaping a Pop-Tart into a gun. Wow, suspended for a Pop-Tart. Well done, school management. And I don't even think he used it in that case. But either way, even if he did use it, who cares? It's a fucking Pop-Tart. Another kid was suspended for drawing a gun. A kid was suspended for hugging a teacher, wearing a purse, wearing an anti-Obama shirt, wearing an NRA shirt. A kid was suspended for farting. Some of these hurt your head, they're so dumb. And I have a theory as to why the schools are doing this. Actually, I mean, the obvious answer is probably the zero tolerance policies where they think, well, we have to do it. That might be the biggest thing, but there's two other things that come to mind. Number one, they probably want to feel relevant because, I mean, think about it. School management probably has a good amount of downtime because the teachers are doing the actual work. So they overreact at every opportunity they get because they got cabin fever and they want to do some shit. They're like, I gotta find something to make an order or do some sort of decision. Okay, God, just suspend the kid. He used a fucking Pop-Tart as a gun. But then the second thing is, I think this is a weird result of society actually not addressing the real gun violence problem that we have. I mean, we have higher gun violence than almost any other civilized country on the planet. We have 32,000 gun deaths every single year in this country. France has less than 100, Britain less than 100, Australia less than 100. That's not an accident. We have shitty gun policy. We have over 300 million guns in circulation. That's going to lead to a lot of people dying from guns, of course. So instead of, actually addressing the problem, the politicians aren't doing shit because they're all bought off by the NRA. And then what happens as a result of that? I think the repression manifests itself in weird ways. So you have, school officials that they try to prevent the problem from happening X amount of years down the road by punishing kids for playing with their fingers or with a Pop-Tart or drawing a gun. And, they might naively think subconsciously, like, that'll lower the violence somehow. No, it won't, because, again, there's no connection. So here's my advice to all these schools that are implementing these zero-tolerance policies and, treating kids like they're doing something wrong when they're not. One word. Stop.